Hey, what's going on, guys? Rich doing a quick review of the Kensun HID kit for you off of Amazon, and I picked up the 55 watt kit, I believe. I thought this was really cool, and then I looked at it and it kind of feels like cardboard. I like how they give it to you in like a briefcase, but it's like so chintzy. It's unbelievable. But again, not about the box, it's about the lights. Do they work? Are they good? Are they packaged well? This is me opening them for the first time ever. And here you go. So it's got some foam padding inside so that these don't bounce around too much, which is what you want. Again, I wish they packaged them a little bit better so they weren't bouncing all over the place inside the box. I don't think they are. I think the foam is kind of keeping them in place, but still, you know, kind of like they have the cutout here for the ballast. I kind of wish they had the lights put in their own little space so they wouldn't, you know. Again, these are going in a car and they're going to be bouncing, rattling around, so I won't go on and on about that, but that's what you got. You got two ballasts, you got two bulbs. This does not have the big relay kit with it, which I hate doing, guys. I really hate doing that because what happens is when you do that, you got to take one of your sockets for your bulbs, which is down here, and you have to leave it hanging. Because when you run the relay kit, what it does is it goes from a positive on the battery and a negative on either the battery. You shouldn't really do that. You should go to the ground somewhere on the chassis, find a good chassis ground, but that's what the relay does. It goes positive from the battery, ground, and then it runs to the relay itself, and then the wires go one to your left side, one to your right side, depending on wherever the battery is. And it hooks one input from your factory bulb. Your factory, you would take this like off of your factory low beam and then you would plug it into the relay. But the problem is you only use one to activate the relay kit on the HID kit. What happens is you have one hanging on the other side of the car that just sits, and it gets moisture inside and it could short out, and if you ever take the HID kit out, you're going to have one of these that's really corroded, and the only thing you can do at that point, guys, is cut it off and splice in a new one. I've had to do it on my F-150. Ford and all the companies make kits. Basically, it's just a pigtail, it's called. It's a harness with a pigtail. You don't want to have to do that. So it's nice that they give you one of these, which goes right directly from your actual light bulb socket plug into this ballast right here. And then from the ballast, it goes right out to this. I believe this is an inverter. And then it goes to the bulb right there. So that's how this works, guys. I'm going to get it all hooked up for you, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. And again, very nice that they don't have the relay. It just switches right on from each one of the ballasts. So I'm going to get it all hooked up and show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is the 2015 RAV4. This is projector headlights. This is the only thing you want to put these in, guys. Please do not put HIDs in regular housings that look like this. This is my high beam, okay? People put HIDs in these kind of housings, and the front of this, see how the bulb, the front of the bulb, sorry, a bunch of pollen out there right now, but this bulb, you can see the tip of it's not covered because it's a high beam, it lets all the light come out. And when people put HIDs in these on the low beams, it blinds the living heck out of all the oncoming traffic, and it throws HID everywhere, and you can't see anything on the road. It doesn't fire it forward like it's supposed to. This is a high beam. That's why this doesn't have the tip coated on the bulb, and it just throws light everywhere for the high beams. It's supposed to. On the low beams, you don't want to put HIDs in your car unless you have a projector housing, because this projects it and it makes a nice cutoff beam, which is a flat pattern in front of the car. It does not blind oncoming traffic. So if you're putting an HID kit in your car, don't do it unless you have projectors, guys. So 2015 RAV4, this is what it looks like. This is the factory plug. You could just take this off to make it more convenient. I put some tape on there to cover this because as you can see, I already put a hole in this, the correct size for the HIDs. I put them back to factory while I was waiting to get the HID kit. So that's the size of the hole. Let's see, I've got my Sylvania Silver Star Ultras in there right now. That's what it looks like. Okay. Make sure when you put the HID in, see how this is the top of the bulb and it's facing up where the arrow is? This is where you want the top of the bulb to be in the HID. So when you look at the bulb itself, you're going to see the bulb has 3 prongs. You can see here. You got the light glaring back, but now you can see the bulb itself. That's the correct way. That's the top right there, and these left and right, those are the prongs on the bulb. So you want this top, this little prong, to be facing where the top of this bulb is. On this car, it happens to be up on an angle to the right, which is about 2 o'clock. Almost, yeah, probably about 2 o'clock right there, right where that tip is. And you can see too, when you take these out, make sure you take them out. See, this one goes like this. It goes in straight, comes out. You put it in straight. This is where the hole is for the clips. And then you can see, watch the black clips go underneath the metal. As I turn it, they disappear. You want to make sure that the clips are going underneath the metal and actually seating inside the housing. You don't want to do it like this, where you turn it and some of the tabs are sticking up above the metal. That's not where the bulb is going to seat right inside the housing. So just wanted to show you guys, make sure you get the tabs underneath the metal. Very important. Light won't go where you need to, and you'll probably burn your housing if you don't do that. So I'm going to put these in, get these installed, and show you what it looks like. What to do if you have a projector housing. You want to drill a hole the size of this rubber grommet right here to be able to put this whole wiring harness through this hole, because the problem is your plug is on the inside of this projector housing, which has to go to this, which reroutes through this grommet, comes back out, and then it goes to these guys. So I'll take this apart and I'll show you what it looks like in a second. Give me a sec, guys. All right, guys, so we're back, and what I did was I took part of this apart. This is the light bulb with the grommet, and it usually has the other 2 coming through here, which is this. And what you got to do is you take the piece here, which looks like this. Let me show you on the other one that I didn't take apart yet. Okay, so now you only do this if you have projectors. What you do is, in between these 2 prongs, if you can see there, the metal tab sticking up, you have to get like a flat screwdriver and actually stick it in between. Let me zoom in for you. Okay, right there. You actually just push up, you hold the wire, push the wire into the plug, and then right there, between the metal piece, between the metal tab sticking out and the plastic right there on the left side, you stick a little flathead screwdriver. I happen to have a really small flathead screwdriver bit. So what you do is you take the bit like so, and you take it and stick it right down there between the metal tab and the plastic. You just stick it in there and then pry it this way. And while you're doing that, you pull the wire down, and then they'll come out of this, and then you'll end up having an open plug. Looks like this. And in doing all that, the whole point of that is, so these little red grommets are going to pop out too. So what you're going to be left with is this. And the whole point of that is, because this plug will not fit through this size hole. Okay, it's a Greenlee step bit, and it's a 3440, which is pretty old. Let's see if the sizes are on the inside. Of course not. Why would they be? Okay, yeah, I don't have sizes on this, so I'm just going to measure this hole and I'll leave it in later. But if you've got a Greenlee 3440 bit and go all the way through, that's the exact size you need. The point of this is, if you do have grommets, what you want to do is leave your bulb in there and stick these guys through. You want to be able to get your light bulb through here, put this grommet in like so. Okay, so now that we got the grommet through, basically you want it to be able to seat well on both sides so that no water will come in. It's on that side and it's flat on this side. And then once you do that, you get these wires sticking through. You want to take this plug, okay, and now that the plug is off, you actually want to put these guys through here like so. That was the point of taking this plug, the connector, off the end, so you could get these through and have this come out the other side. Because again, this plug, okay, is too big to fit through that hole for the grommet. So that's why we took this plug off right here. Okay, so now that that's done and these are through, what you want to do is you want to take your grommets, the little red ones that were in there, and put them right over these, like so. Okay. And then you want to, depending on your plug, okay, this works both ways. This is universal. It's got the clip on both sides, which I don't like because it won't go into these openings. I got to actually just take a X-Acto knife or a razor and cut one of these tips off on one side. But since this, either way, what you want to do is keep one the way it was from the factory when you get it, just so you know which side red and black goes on, in case the tab doesn't, in case it doesn't have a tab on both sides and it's not universal. Just keep in mind which side red goes on and which side black goes on. Otherwise, this isn't going to work. And then what you want to do is, this goes in like so. The flat part goes towards the outside of this. So you stick it in like so, and you'll see it come up. And once it comes up, you'll hear that click. Now it's not going to come back out. Now it's in there. Take the other one, same thing. Okay, so now that's in. Push it all the way up. Click, there it is. Take the grommets, just push them in. This really isn't an issue because this isn't going to get wet. It's going to be inside this housing, so we don't really have to worry about this. But in case you did, you can just take a little pick and just push these in gently without disturbing them or breaking them. So now that that's on, basically what we want to do is look at which way red and black is. Okay, and this is my factory plug. So we're going to match red on the right to red on this side. Now before I do that, again, I got to cut this little plastic piece off because this is extra. And on this, it's not going to work. But make sure from the factory, if your car doesn't require this, if your car doesn't have this kind of setup where this tip right here is going to interfere with this plug, just make sure, again, you look from the factory what side's red and what side's black. Usually like black will be ground. Don't always go by that because anything could be anything. I've seen 1,000 different wire colors and combinations, one with stripes, one without, solid color, stranded. There's all different kinds. So again, just try to make sure you figure out which is positive, which is negative. Line them up, pop them in. Good. Okay guys, so now that that is done, what I did was I went and took my razor knife and I cut off that little tab. Again, I just took it flat, took the blade, cut one of these sides off right here to make it flat like this and have one tab on one side. And as you can see, this is what it looks like. See how I only got the one tab where it needs to be on the one side, then I shave down the other. So again, if you're doing projectors, this is when you're gonna have to do all this extra work. So that's it, and that is ready to go. So now we could take that and we could take this plastic piece off right here, take off the plastic protective casing, whatever you want to call it. Take that off the bulb, and again, make sure it fits in where exactly the way the old bulb went in, and then turn it and lock it in, and then we can close this off. And again, we only have the two plugs now. We got the one coming out for the ballast, and then we got the other one coming out. I'm sorry, this actually goes into, yeah, the ballast, and then this goes into the bulbs. So there we go. Alright guys, so I got the casing off of the bulb and I installed it. Let me just take it out one more time just to show you. This is a little bit difficult. This thing is really stubborn. It's in there. Really got to turn hard. Once it gets in, it's in. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it in. But basically what you do is just make sure the top of the bulb, the smaller tab, is straight up and down. The small tab goes up where this little triangle is. Go in, make sure all the plastic pieces are behind the metal. They go in, and then you turn it to the right. And that is the driver's side done. So once that's in, you're not going to see the black plastic tabs sticking up there underneath the metal. That's in, that's seated. That is perfect. That's exactly how you want to install it. And you take this, make sure you just tuck this down to the bottom out of the way. Make sure it's not hitting anything. Turn it until it locks, until it goes in. Okay, there we go. So push it in, make sure it's sealed, and turn it. No, that's not it. Okay, you'll feel it. You'll know when it's in and when it's not in. So that is in. Now that it's in, just push it and turn it. There we go. Now it's in. Okay, so what it's going to look like is it's going to be flat. This tab is going to go towards the driver, and this is going to go towards the headlights. It's going to be flat like this with the ground. So once that's in, that's it. So now basically you got 2 more connections to make. Again, guys, this is as easy as pie. Okay, so I'm going to put the ballast here for now. So basically, again, you only have 2 connections. One goes here, which is coming, this is the extension. Okay, I'm just going to connect that. Side with the clip goes where the side with the clip is. Push it in, click, wiggle it, make sure it doesn't come loose, just pull on it. Okay, and then again, this is very, very foolproof. Take this guy right here and put this inside like so. And then we take this and put this guy in here like this. And basically, again, these this clip goes like that. If I could only do this. This is so hard to do with one hand, guys. Just to show you, it can be done. I would be able to do it a lot easier if I wasn't holding the camera, believe it or not. Okay, there we go, it's clipped. So now that's it. Okay, so now everything is set up. What you could do is, on the back of it, it comes with a little set of screws here, and it comes with mounting brackets. So what you do is take your mounting brackets like this, put them up against this, put the 3 screws, 1, 2, 3, and then take this and screw this into something metal, something where it's going to be solid, something flat. Okay, I already did this a while ago because I had an older set of HIDs in here. I mounted the bracket to the metal here, and then just, of course, see, this is what happens when you get crappy metal. It rusts and it flakes and it comes all apart. And as you can see, my stainless steel hardware, my bolt, my Allen head bolt is still stainless steel, not rusted. As you can see, the rust is coming from the actual crappy bracket that I got from my old HIDs. So you just want to find a place. Again, this is a lease car, so I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it, what I'm going to do. I ended up keeping it, so now I'm going to find a little bit more of a permanent mount for this. But again, just take this, the screw goes through the top of this hole, and then it's got to get mounted somewhere. That's all you got to do. So once you do all that, guys, once you see that everything is good to go, it's time for the test to see if this baby works. So as you can see, don't forget to plug this back in right there. Okay, without further ado, there we go. There's the HID. As you can see, it's heating up. All right, so look at the difference in color already. That's the factory bulb on the right over there. And this is the HID. And as you can see, look at the color changing. Kensun HID 55 watt 5000K kit, 9005 bulb size for 2015 Toyota. Focus. Beautiful. So from the factory, this is what you get. It looks like this. These 2 wires are coming through here. They come out this side. Okay. They have these little grommets on them. And then they go into this plug, like so. Okay, they both stick inside here. So this is what you're going to get from the factory. And either way, it's 2-sided because it's got the tabs on both sides. We don't want that on this one because we're putting it inside here, inside the projector housing, and this tab only should be on one side, as you can see. What'll happen is if you put this in, you're going to crack it, just like I did before. So what you want to do is take your razor knife, whatever you got, X-Acto. You could do it with a Dremel, just cut it down, whatever you want to do. Just cut that off like so. All right, let's just cut that off. Make sure it's just nice and smooth. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so we're done. So now we have one side with the tab on it, one side without. Okay, so what we're doing is we drill a hole here. Again, later on, I'm going to measure this and figure out exactly what size it is. I'll show you what I used in a second. It's a step bit, like a drill step bit. I'll leave a link in the description exactly what it was again. So what we have to do is, again, take those pieces off. Take these guys out here. Let me show you how to do that real quick. These are going to be in here. These two pieces are going to be in here like so. They're going to be in the bottom of this, like this. So what you wanted, this is going to be sticking out here. Okay. You have to take a pick or something very fine like this. This is a extremely small Weehaw screwdriver. Okay, so what I did was I took this little flathead screwdriver and you take it like this. Let me zoom in so you can see. Okay, so you have to take this very small flat screwdriver or a pick or a needle or anything you can get in there. First take the wire, push it up as hard as you can, as high as it'll go. Put this in here like this on an angle, push down, and then pry it back like this. That pops open the plastic tab, and then pull the wire out. Then you got this. And of course the grommets are going to be in there, so just take those little red grommets off. That's these guys right here. These are the little grommets that are on there. Okay, once you have all this taken apart like this, and this comes out, you just pull the wires out. Pull the wires out of this grommet here. Okay, now again, this is your cover for your projector. So what you want to do is take these two right here, put these through. Okay, now that they're through, take this grommet, push it all the way through. Push the one side through. You could push the whole thing through, it's alright, whatever you want to do. However's easier for you. At the end of the day, you want one side sticking out on this side, flat, and you want one side sticking out on this side. I know I just made that look easy. It's a real pain in the butt, but I've done this a couple times, so I know a little bit about it. Alright guys, so now that that's through, okay, you want to take your plug. Remember what side to put it on. Again, it goes from the outside in. Okay. Match black to black, red to red, doesn't matter either way. I just like doing that. Take these guys, put them through here. Okay, stick them through. This grommet's going to want to go through, so just kind of pinch it and hold it. And what you do is just grab the wire, hold the grommet on the outside, and pull it through. Okay, again, hold the grommet. First time you might push the grommet back through, it's okay. You'll figure it out. Pull it back through. Alright, cool. So now that we got these two, we take these, pull them through, hold the grommet. Okay. Now we've gotten to this point. Okay, so now what we got to do is take those two little red grommets from before. If I can find them, yes I can. Take them and they go in like so. Stick one on each side. Okay. Now again, if you cut off the tab, which is this, we have to look at the factory wiring. Pull this back a little bit. Okay, this is red. Okay. Now the clip is here, which goes up and it clips in like so. So that goes on this side and you put it in. I'll just clip this in just so you could see. Clip, okay, on top goes to this clip. Now this side would be red, okay? That's the red side, that's the left side. So what we do is we take our wire that we just brought through, make sure that goes to the right side, or I'm sorry, the correct side, which is the left side. Take this out, push this in, push this through, click. Hear that click? That means it's in and it's seated and it's not going to come out. Take the grommet, just push it in. Okay, take the black side. Again, you want the side with the prongs flat going towards the inside. There you go. Okay, there we go. Here's your grommets, push those in. Doesn't matter, they don't need to be weather tight because this is going to be sealed inside anyway. Again, make sure clip is up, red wires on the left side. Okay, clip is up, red wires on the left side. Push this, make it click, pull it, make sure it's not going to come loose because you get a loose connection, this could arc and, you know, not good. So that's good. All right, so now we're ready to put the bulb in. Okay. So here's the easiest way to do this, guys. I'll just show you real quick. Take this guy like so. Again, make sure your grommet didn't come out. Make sure this is still flat and sealed in case you get any water inside your engine bay. Okay, there we go. So make sure your grommet's flat. You got all your wires coming out. everything's good to go. Got your bulb, got everything connected. Okay, so what you do is you're ready to unscrew this. Unscrew this, throw this away. Now what you could do is just squeeze this, crack, break, get it out of there. You could have done that before, but I don't like doing that because I don't want to get this touching anything until I'm ready to install it. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, ready to put the bulb in. Again, keep in mind what side the tabs, small, big, big. So this is the top of the bulb, this little tab right here. Okay, so I'm going to show you what it looks like taking the old one out. This is how it comes out. Okay, you turn it to the middle. No, actually this one turns left, I'm sorry. So now this one comes out like this. Okay, keep in mind how you take your factory bulbs out, because that's how you're going to put the new one in. Take this out, don't let this glass, don't let this touch anything. So the small part goes towards the front, like that. And then we turn it like this, and then it's up. Okay. There's the click. Now you can see, look on the bottom, you don't see the plastic piece. You don't see the plastic tabs coming out. They are in, and you can see right here, this little arrow right there, how it turns this way, which is clockwise. That's turning it in to lock it. And this little triangle right here tells you where the small tab on the top of the bulb is. And if you're looking down at the bulb, here is the factory, here's the Sylvania Silver Star Ultra 9005. Right here where I'm tapping, this is the small part. So that goes towards the front of the car, which is where this little triangle is. Okay, always make sure that that little small tab goes where this little triangle is. Put it in like this, and then turn it clockwise. So at this point, the bulb is in. We just want to take this here. I want to take the cap and put that on. All we do is we take these connectors for the bulb. Red goes to red, blue goes to black. Take the red to the red. Connect, clip, you'll hear the click. Put these in, click. Take this right here, and this only goes one way. Click. And again, guys, once you figure out wherever you're going to mount your ballast, what you do is take this metal bracket that comes with it. Okay, on the bottom it's got like a triangle. Take this and take the supplied screws, 1, 2, 3, and then you just take another screw and then put this through here. Try to go into sheet metal if you can. Try not to go into something that's going to damage anything, any kind of hoses or vents. Make sure if you're drilling, you don't drill into anything that's going to hit any hoses or vents or valves or anything. And once you get this mounted up, you're ready to turn on your HIDs. So I already have a mount right here. I'm just going to put that there for a second temporarily just to check and make sure that this works. There is one more factory plug that I took off when I took off the cap for the housing. That is this plug here from the factory. You have to plug that into the cap for the HID part right here. Okay, so that's in, good to go. Should be having light. Here we go. So we have HID. As you can see, these are going to be like blue when you first come on, and after a little bit they're going to change in color. There it is. See how it's white now? It started out like a bluish greenish color. So now we have HID. And the nice thing about this is it should match my fog lights, which it pretty much does. These are Philips LEDs on the bottom, so now I have HIDs for my low beams. I have PIAs for my high beams, and then I have got the Philips LEDs for my fog lights. Look at the spill to the right. Look at the spill to the left. Really, really good. Again, these are in projectors, so look at the cutoff at the house that I'm coming up to. As you can see, it's a nice clean line. That's with the high beams, that's with the projectors, the low beams. So again, don't put these in regular housings that take halogen bulbs. Make sure you put them in projector housings only, because you need them to project the light, kind of the right pattern on the road. As you can see, I'm not blinding anybody, I'm not getting high beamed, but all the light that I'm throwing on the road is going on the road, and it's not going all over the place. See, when I put the high beams on, it goes up. When I keep these low beams, they stay down. That's the big difference. So whatever you do, guys, please make sure you don't put these in regular halogen housings, make sure you put them in projectors, and be safe as everybody else on the road, and hopefully you have a good clean install. I hope this video helped you out, guys. If it did, like, thumbs up, subscribe. I got a lot more awesome videos coming your way.